warning going into it. This video is probably gonna get really ranty really fast, so if you're not down with that, you should probably click out of this right here, right now. There was your warning. Go ahead, I will not take it personally. Anyway, so Nintendo has just announced a new Paper Mario game, which I'm kind of intrigued because didn't this one just come out at the end of January? Now, admittedly, some might argue it's one of the Mario and Luigi series, but it's sort of a hybrid between that and Paper Mario, so I don't know if this one really counts as part of that series or not. Regardless, I was kind of struck by curiosity that they're doing two in the same year. Okay, I'll bite. Unfortunately, the more I looked at this, I feel like they're ruining the Paper Mario series. Big time. Let me backpedal a little bit. For anyone who somehow may not be well acquainted with the Paper Mario series, I would argue it's probably one of the best Mario sub-series ever. Ever. And that's speaking as somebody who grew up with the original 80s Mario games. My number one is still always going to be Super Mario Bros. 3. That's just, it goes without saying. But in second place is the original Paper Mario game for N64. Because it was so good, it was literal perfection in just about every sense of the term. I mean, it had fleshed out worlds, it had new characters, it had completely different dynamic to the way you play it. It just, everything about it was groundbreaking. It was wonderful. I mean, for us in America, it was new. For Japan, they'd had Mario RPG, or what's an RPG story? I forget off the top of my head, but they'd had that years earlier. Certain people here managed to get a port of it or whatnot, and they got to play it too. I personally have never gotten to play that one. If anyone knows of where I can play it, either in English form or if there's an English dub on it, anything, please let me know because I would love to play that one. But anyway, this isn't about that. So, the original Paper Mario was freaking badass. It was basically told in a narrative format to where, it even opened up as a literal storybook. It wasn't done in a way to where the characters knew they were made of paper or anything. This seems to have become a thing later on in the series where they are self-aware of that, but in the original, they're just going about their merry way. They just happen to be in 2D paper format. And it had a certain charm to it for that, and I loved it, but there were so many subplots and stories and everything going on at the same time. It was wonderful. I clocked so damn many hours on that game, I cannot even begin to tell you guys. And I played it start to finish over and over and over again. I took all 3 of those slots, wiped them, played it all the way through again, wiped it, and kept doing it. I love that freaking game. I rebought it from the eShop on my Wii. I rebought it again for my Wii U. I freaking love that game. Make no bones about it. So then for GameCube, they came out with the sequel, Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door. I also loved that one. Personally, not quite as much as the original, but I still loved the crap out of it. And frankly, you know what? I'm gonna be honest here. I actually never quite hit the end of it. Which is why I never got around to playing Super Paper Mario. Because I wanted to play them in chronological order because I'm a stickler for details. That rule has since gone out the window, but I'm still in the business of trying to beat the end of that one. Anyway, it was a lot like the original Paper Mario game, but they fleshed it out even more to a point where it was almost overcomplicated in my opinion, but it still retained so much of the original charm of the first game to where, complicated or not, I didn't care. I still played the hell out of it. Like I said, never personally got to play Super Paper Mario yet, even though it was only by a self-imposed rule. I freaking have it in my collection. I have no excuse for having not played it. I'm probably going to very soon, but yeah, so I basically skipped straight forward from that to Sticker Star. This is where the problem begins, although some argue it started with Super Paper Mario, but I can't speak from experience on that one. But okay. I got it quite a while after it had come out, I was really hesitant to play it, though, because I kept seeing the way that it was received and talked about online everywhere. Everybody fucking hated this game. And I was just like, but Paper Mario was so loved. How could they have screwed it up that bad? Honestly, what could they have possibly done to it to screw it up so badly where everyone unanimously hates this thing? And then I played it. Yeah, it's honestly that bad. To where I actually just started it, I forget if it was earlier this year or towards the end of last year. I think it was towards the end of last year. But it's such a chore to play through because of what they've done to it that my reason for not finishing that one isn't out of difficulty, because it's actually pretty damn easy. It's just, it's so tedious. They took all the fun out of it, basically. Okay, so here's what they did. With the original Paper Mario games, it was basically an RPG genre. They changed this into action-adventure. And that's going to be important again in a minute, but, so alright. For Sticker Star, they completely obliterated the battle dynamic. They did away with leveling up. I mean, they made it so you'd have more HP over time, but there was no leveling up your character, there was no learning new moves or anything. Basically, your battle dynamic is that you are collecting stickers from all over the little Nintendo world you're playing in. And those are your battle moves. Use them as you wish, but you're going to waste them, and if you run out, you're screwed. How anybody thought this was a good idea is beyond me. Now, how they could have made that work would have been if you had some basic core moves, like in Paper Mario you started out with 1 or 2 moves. They were very basic, low-level moves, but you had a couple. Now, if it had been like this in Sticker Star, and then on top of that, you also used stickers, and all of them did different things to basically give an advantage to your battles instead of literally being the entire battle, I feel like this would be an entirely different game. But it's not, and they are, and pretty much it just takes all the fun out of it because you're constantly wondering, I would use this one now, but I might need it later, therefore I don't want to waste it, but now I don't really know how to beat this guy, and it makes it a pain in the ass. And you have to keep going through and basically grinding the levels over and over again just to find enough stickers to do the battles, if not flat out try to avoid as many battles as possible. In the previous Paper Mario games, you were basically encouraged to go into battles because it would help you level up. It would help you level up your partners, which they also did away with in this one, and there was just a whole big thing with it. It would sometimes drop items. I mean, I think occasionally there's like a dropped sticker, woo wow, in Sticker Star, but other than that, it basically has made it essentially useless to even be doing these battles other than, oh, well, you happen to run into this guy, so now you have to fight him. If you're not lucky enough to be able to run away in the middle of battle. This is the thing. You're gonna do it. This is the whole game. Yeah. On top of this, they completely did away with any sort of semblance of a plot other than Bowser's bad. He did a thing. Because that is what Bowser does. Go beat Bowser. That is literally it. I mean, I realize that most Mario games consist of, yeah, Bowser kidnapped Peach, again, for the millionth friggin' time, but this is even more stripped down than that. This, I mean, in the original Paper Mario, I hate to keep going back to it over and over and over again, but I have to make a point here, but in that one, he had stolen the Star Wand, and he had, like, taken the star sprites, or whatever they were called, hostage. You had to rescue them one by one, and each one of them could help you in your battles on top of already having your battle partners as well. It was a really great thing, as well as having an awesome plot throughout, and it just, you found yourself emotionally attached to the characters. It was great. Given that all of that got wiped out for Sticker Star, it's like, What am I even doing? Why am I even bothering with this? They literally took all the fun out of it. Now, I suppose if a person has literally never played a Paper Mario game before and doesn't know any better, maybe if they're really bored, they might like it. But I can't imagine much of anybody really finding it to be a gripping title. And that'd be why it's rated so badly. But it is what it is. It exists. It's basically a shit stain on the history of Paper Mario. Yeah. I honestly kind of hoped that it would be buried quickly and we'd move on and just never speak of it again. It would be just one of those really shitty, forgotten Nintendo games that, okay, that thing didn't work, so let's move past it and go back to how we were doing things before and try to improve on it and just not talk about that one. We'll just pretend that didn't even happen. See games like Mario is Missing or Yoshi's Cookie, things like that that are so forgotten by most people that it's just like, oh yeah, I forgot that was even a thing. Okay. But yeah, so I was honestly expecting this to be quickly forgotten and them to go back to the old way of doing Paper Mario games. But apparently not so much. I would like to know why. I mean, actually, I could probably answer the why part of that, is that it's harder to make a game. I mean, you need the people to write the story, you need the people to do all the coding and everything. Yes, I'm sure it is a lot harder to do all the animations, everything involved in making another game like the original Paper Mario or Thousand Year Door. And to make this whole big universe within one game that's explorable, which is another thing they stripped out of Sticker Star. Instead of literally traveling the globe from place to place and exploring it and getting to talk to all the different characters you encounter and learning all the little things that happen and having new things happen when you talk to them at a different time. No. That's not a thing anymore. Now you get a map. You get level 1-1, level 1-2, and so on and so forth. There's no traveling between them. It's literally a dot on the map and you just go to the predetermined points. I had assumed this was because to have a mobile version of Paper Mario, sure, they're gonna have to scale down on some things, they're gonna have to cut out a lot of stuff, there's gonna be sacrifices made. That was just assumed by my part. I went into it expecting it to not be as good as an actual console version of it, so I figured maybe it's just able to be chalked up to that. However, the new one coming out, Color Splash, isn't for the 3DS, it's coming out for the Wii U. So there's really no frigging excuse for them to still be using this dynamic. I don't get it. I mean, granted, the game's not out yet. It's not coming out till late this year. It's possible they might make some changes to it between now and then, and I really hope they do. And it's entirely possible that there's a lot of things we don't know about yet. All we're going on is a trailer. But of what we have seen in that trailer seems to be pretty damning in that it looks like Sticker Star Part 2 with a different name, and instead of stickers, now you're painting things. Yeah. I am very unimpressed, and not only does it look like Sticker Star Part 2, it also looks like freaking Splatoon. As if they haven't made enough money off of that franchise yet. No, let's just throw it into another thing too and see if maybe we can slowly inch our way towards a crossover or something. The hell even. I don't know. I'm not the one who designed it. I had no part in it. All I know is that those of us who have been around for the long haul with Nintendo are basically pissed. We did see in this trailer that the map layout is basically just like that of in Sticker Star with the predetermined points that you go to, and maybe it's possible that we're wrong, and maybe it's just a map that you view and it isn't how you navigate throughout the game, but kind of doubtful. But yeah, it doesn't look as though you have any leveling up that goes on. It looks like Sticker Star in terms of battle mode that way, except this time instead of stickers, now you have paint cards. So basically, same thing, different name, but same thing. Awesome. I'm not amused. I'm also very let down, because the second I heard there was a new Paper Mario coming out, I got really freaking excited, just to basically get all my hopes dashed by that trailer. To see that it's basically the same thing that everybody collectively hated with Sticker Star. Why would you willingly do that again? Does Nintendo even give a crap whatsoever about what the people want anymore? Because I don't think they do. I honestly don't think they do. And it's bullcrap, because who exactly is putting the money in their pockets? It's the gamers, the people that buy the games. You would think they'd want to keep us happy so we'd keep buying the games in the future. Because if they piss us off enough, we might just leave and go to another system. I realize for you that's probably an empty threat. I'll probably stay with Nintendo anyway and just keep bitching and griping about it, but honestly, I've known quite a few people who have bailed on Nintendo altogether and have gone either to Xbox or PlayStation. Not to say that I haven't dabbled at all with either of those. I have dabbled with both. Personally, their games don't grip me as much as the Nintendo ones always have. I figured I'd chalk that up to nostalgia, but there comes a point, there is a tipping point, where if things get bad enough with Nintendo, what's left? What is even left that is still worth sticking around for here, instead of switching over to one of the other consoles? And that would honestly break my heart, because I have always staunchly remained a hardcore Nintendo fan at heart. I personally refused to buy the other consoles. My brother always had them in the house, so if I wanted to play them, I played his, but I personally would have no part in throwing my money at them. But yeah, I'm honestly starting to question my decision on that one. It really disappoints me. And that's not to say there haven't been any good games for the modern systems. I mean, I freaking love Yoshi's Woolly World. That is probably my favorite of the Wii U games that has been released this far. And with 3DS, I mean, it seems kind of weak. They might have a new console come out that maybe it'll do better, because it seems like the DS Lite, what was the one after that between that and the 3DS? There was that one, and there was the 3DS, and then the new 3DS. They all sort of got squashed together into one big long generation of the handhelds, and it seems like they've sort of exhausted that avenue, and to really move forward into something new, I think they need something that is truly new, where the hardware is concerned. Whether or not that's gonna happen, who the hell knows, but yeah, it seems like their handheld console game is really lacking. They should really be focusing on making the Wii U console stuff that much stronger until, NX comes out, but since we're not there yet, let's focus on the Wii U for now, since it's still the current generation system. It could be done. They just choose not to, because they've gotten lazy. And I would blame it on the death of Miyamoto, but it was going on before that, so I can't even blame it on that. It just seems that they have enough money at this point. They've been doing it for enough years. They know that people are going to keep coming back to it, because even if they themselves have outgrown it, most of them have kids now. They'll buy it for their kids, because it's what they grew up with, so obviously it's a good company, right? Except that it doesn't seem to stand for the same things it necessarily did when we were growing up. And it's really disappointing. And it's even more disappointing finding one of my favorite series, or sub-series, or whatever you'd like to refer to it as, seems to be going down the crapper without much signs of coming back. And I really hope I'm wrong, and I honestly hope that there's more to it than the trailer is making it look like, because if, honestly, it looks like most of the other characters other than who you're actively playing are freaking Toads. The most useless character in any Mario game ever. Sorry, I am not that big a fan of Toad. Never have been, never will be. But there's so many things wrong with it just that we've seen in the trailer alone. I could go on all day about this. I'm not going to, but I could. I'm just really upset and really let down, and I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that they're able to deliver something better than what it appears in that trailer, but so far it's not looking promising. So if we can't get something better with that particular game, can we at least get back to the original game dynamic with whatever next Paper Mario game comes out after this one? Would that be so much to ask? Then again, if this one fails badly enough, I'm not sure we'll get another one. Because if everybody hated the last one, and they all hate this one, who's to say they're even going to make another Paper Mario game? If sales are bad enough, they'd probably discontinue the series. Obviously not Mario altogether, but Paper Mario possibly. We saw how long it took between Super Paper Mario... Did I say it? I did. Super Paper Mario and Sticker Star, to where it was starting to look like, well, maybe that was just it. Maybe they aren't going back to that. But then they did. Unfortunately, it sucked when they did. But they did. Now it looks like they're doing that again. So I'm like, would it really be that bad for them to invest the extra time and effort into making one quality good game? Because if they do it right, we would be more than willing to wait the extra length of time it would take them to develop the game. We would be perfectly happy to if they actually brought back the original dynamic and brought back the plots and brought back basically all the things that made us love the original series. But as it stands right now, it's looking horrible. And that really, really upsets me. And I know I'm not the only one. There's plenty of other people that are complaining about this very same topic right now, even right here on YouTube. There's probably gonna be a ton of them in the related videos bar, so take your pick. We've all basically got the same complaints about this, but it's just upsetting and disappointing. And hopefully but maybe if enough of us keep saying it and keep drilling these same complaints into Nintendo's heads, maybe it'll reach somebody. Maybe they'll eventually get the message and actually do something about it. That would be fantastic. Unfortunately, I'm not that hopeful, but I can try to hope anyway, right? I think that's about the best we can do here, so. Anyway, that's about all I really think I have to say in this video on this topic, so as usual, if you like this video, click the like button. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Leave comments down below, anything about this or anything else that you'd like to say. Go ahead. Until next time, bye!